check. So if you're filming anything, here's your guy. He literally knows Bradley Cooper. Really? No, he does. I don't know why I'm up here. I served in the Cub Scouts. He could have just handled this as himself. So can you explain that point of view?
Absolutely. When it comes to all things matters of the mind and mental wellness, you saw my Humvee up there. That was a great day at the office. But that's just what it was a bad day at work. I'm a third-generation combat Marine. I knew very well when I volunteered for infantry that the possibilities of having said bad day were very possible. And for me, the majority of the demons that I fight have nothing to do with my time as a United States Marine. Those demons were deep-seated long before I ever put on a uniform. They were just exacerbated when I did put on a uniform and go through some of the experiences like Jimmy referred to. Combat is violent, and there's nothing cool about it. There's nothing sexy about it. But what we have to understand is that this mental wellness and these depression, anxiety, hypervigilance, suicidal ideation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, these are human issues. These aren't just warrior issues. These aren't just law enforcement officer issues. The thing that, again, Jimmy put very eloquently is that when it comes to matters of the mind and all those things I talked about that everyone in this room has battled one way or the other, it doesn't matter your political ideation, how you vote, or who you pray to or don't pray to. When it comes to mental pain and suffering, it doesn't discriminate. It affects everyone. Now, whether you'll talk about it is a whole nother thing. And so that's why, with 22 Kill, which is, I understand, a strong name.
I was going to say, you went right at us with that name, because that's the average number of suicides.
Yeah, so it was in 2012 when the study came out from the VA, stating that on average 22 veterans die by suicide in a day, which now the number is about 20.6 from the last study. And what we're seeing is that the numbers on the veteran side are coming down, numbers on the active side are going up. So there's a disconnect somewhere in the middle that we have to figure out. And I think a lot of us have a pretty solid understanding what that disconnect is when it comes to the government and matters of the mind equate to dollars. And that's probably the hesitation. But if you look at like in the Air Force, since January to July, they've had 79 die by suicide. And they're on pace to double any number since the inception of the Air Force. It's not okay. And so our whole thing with the name of 22 Kill is that it's supposed to get your attention. That's the point. That's the point. If you can't get past the name to talk about the root cause of an issue, congratulations, you are part of the problem.
I just say at the Super Bowl, we play these flag games against ex-NFL players.
Good thing I didn't stay for that game.
we do okay. We got the fastest guy in the field is one of our guys who has no legs. He has 2 blades and he runs by these NFL guys all day. And Snoop Dogg comes out and plays. Yeah. But you look great.
Thank you.
Not that you looked terrible before.
I didn't look great.
You got a new girl. You're on this all sugar diet or something. What's this thing you're on?
No sugar.
No sugar.
Zero sugar.
But
no sugar.
To that point, we talk about you get in these situations and you look around and go, and we all kind of do it like, oh, that vet looks kind of, he's okay, and that vet, oh, she doesn't look as, and you look okay, but you're not fully, right? It's like somebody who's battled a drug or something is forever that, but they've just beat it for now.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you're always still faced with that. You're just doing better than you once were.
Exactly, and that's what we have to understand about post-traumatic stress is that, look, post-traumatic stress is nothing more than a normal reaction to an otherwise abnormal situation. So it's okay to not be okay. That's the point, and it makes you normal. That's something we have to understand. We have to stop passing judgment on other people in order to protect our own self-reflection. That's the whole reason we do it, because it's a distraction from us having to delve into our own soul. That's it, nothing more, nothing less. And we've become, again, with 22 Kill, that's like, hey, yeah, it's a point. That's the point, is to get in your face about this issue of suicide. Just like Jimmy said, if you have a broken leg, broken arm, we'll address that all day long. Neck up is a no-go zone because it makes us uncomfortable. We have to be self-reflective. And look, I'm a recovering alcoholic addict. I was really good at doing drugs, and when I got off the drugs, by the grace of God, alcohol was right there to catch my fall. And so, that was a hell of a fight, but at the end of the day, that's what it was. It was me avoiding diving into my own soul, waking up and exercising those demons in order to evict them, because I knew that was going to be hard work. But anything worth doing is supposed to be hard. That's the point.
You kind of led me to the next thing. When I hadn't been here and I didn't know where you're supposed to park, and it was kind of crowded up, so I drive in the back, and I ended up and the sign says limited mobility parking. And I'm like, they're not talking to me. Even though, I don't know if you all know, but that's why I'm wearing these shoes. I got a ruined ankle from football way back when. And there was this moment, like, I didn't want to take the parking spot from somebody but there's like 70 of them. I probably could have stayed. Then it was about, all right, these other guys are going to say, oh, that's Leslie's brother. What a jerk. He parked in limited mobility parking when he's not officially, but yet I am sort of, so it's sort of like, and then to make a Magellan story here go even longer, we got this guy, Ron Blanc, here at the Hanger Clinic, right up in Gig Harbor here, and my sister kept saying, you got to see this guy, because I'd tried everything, right? When you met me, I had that other stupid brace. That brace was like the station wagon. This new brace is like the Ferrari. So they're doing great things out there. And so then Gretchen, my wife, who right now, her plane just got delayed, we said, let's do something good, because the whole point of making the brace was for veterans. They did the R&D for me. So basically, I'm just paying back veterans. I'm not even being a good guy. I'm just like a debt of gratitude. So we've raised money. We got a bunch of famous people helping us, and we've put 12 veterans who can now run pain-free again.
Yep.
So it's back to the limited mobility park. I mean, it's like what you were saying. It's like, it's okay to own up to it. Like, hey, I got this thing, I'm dealing with it. I'm going to say it out loud.
Yes.
And not be embarrassed by it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the device that Kenny's talking about. It is night and day. You get to see the difference. And he was telling me a story last night at dinner about someone who came and worked on the device for a couple of days on a wheelchair, walked out of the place. I mean, everything has to do. Your environment is everything, and your quality of life is everything, because you only get one shot at it. This is not a dress rehearsal. You get one shot. And so the fact that, and you are a good guy, and you come from good stock. I mean, Leslie and everything that she's worked for to put this together. See, this is why I always say that warriors come in all shapes and sizes, and doesn't mean you have to wear a uniform. You do not have to wear a uniform to be of service to your nation. It's one of the biggest misnomers we have. Every one of you that woke up this morning to come out here to be a part of something greater than yourself, by default makes you a warrior. It makes you a hero in your own right, because you give a damn. That's why you came. And that's why our tagline at 22 Kill is one tribe, one fight, meaning we are all in this together. And one tribe, one fight doesn't mean the warrior community working together to better the warrior community. It means mankind leaning in, relying on each other, and loving hard in order to live well. And the whole reason we can do that is because I truly believe when our Vietnam veterans came home and the way they were treated in a lapse of stupidity from our own country, again, my humble opinion, I'll unapologetically do me every day because everyone else is taken, for the record. So I think what they went through when they came home is the reason that Jimmy and myself and the other warfighters in the room, we are treated like rock stars. It's because the Vietnam vets said, never again. We're not going to allow this ever again with our brothers and sisters that come home. And that's what courage is. That's what courage is, and that is why we are the best in the nation as a country, regardless of the political ideology or what corner of the country you're from. The one thing that we can all agree upon is we didn't get to where we are by signing peace treaties. Men and women far greater than myself had to fight, bleed, and die in order for us to take advantage of the freedoms we do every single day, myself included. And that's why I stand in awe of people such as yourself, Leslie, Saudi, that can come here and do these things that are hard, because that's when you grow. You do not grow in your comfort zone. When you put yourself outside of that, that's where you grow.
Leslie said go 9 minutes, so we got one more?
All right.
One more.
One more? Okay. Yeah, we don't want to upset Leslie.
Questions I would ask, and I'm glad you brought up, you wanted to say that last night about Korea and Vietnam, who weren't treated the same. You had to fake it for a long time while remaining optimistic. Now you seem optimistic, there's no more faking it, but yet sometimes like we made the point, like sometimes you'll put out something on Twitter, something very, meaningful to you, and you think a million people should, and you get like 8 people. It's like, and 7 of them are veterans.
Yeah.
It's like you still have to battle through that and just go back, do it again the next day, right? Like not give up on your mission.
Yeah, because, and it was an interesting conversation we were having last night about it. I believe that when people really see the inspirational stuff or the stuff that makes them want to be the better version of themselves the next day or try harder, but the reason they don't is the same thing I touched on earlier, is that you have to be self-reflective and introspective to do that. That's hard. Those are the things, that's why we have the mask and the logo of 22 Kill. That's what the gas mask represents, is that we wake up, we put on a mask. We go to the office, put on a different mask. Go to a lunch meeting, different mask. Back to the office, different mask. Home, different mask. Our thing is just throw the damn thing away. Wake up and do you, everybody else is taken. Wake up and unapologetically be yourself. Because you're going to have a group of people in your life that love you unconditionally and a group that don't, and you have zero control over either group. So just do you. And that's why we really preach just lead with love. That's what it's all about. We believe that when you're born, you have 2 objectives to the time you die. It's love and be loved. Everything else is filler. And people say, well, Jake, why does life get so hard? Human element, free will. It gets hard because we make it hard. Period. That's it. Love and be loved, and do you. You only get one shot.
Jacob Schick, see you in the movies.
Yeah.